Augment Code versus Cursor versus Windsurf. My personal take after using all three AI IDEs. I've spent some solid time working with Augment Code, Cursor, and Windsurf. And if you're trying to decide which AI coding assistant is actually worth your workflow, I'll break it down from my own experience. Each of these tools is powerful in its own way, but how they feel to use day to day is really different, and that matters more than people admit. Starting with Windsurf, it just feels effortless. It's clearly designed to be as beginner-friendly and flow-centric as possible. You open it, start typing what you want done, and it pulls the right context from your codebase without needing to manually add files. Its default Cascade agent mode is honestly a game changer. It indexes what it needs, writes to disk in real time so you can instantly see the changes reflected in your running app, and lets you iteratively refine before accepting anything. There's no chaos, no wall of options, and no distraction. The UI is clean, very Apple-like if I had to compare. I don't get lost in settings or multiple tabs. You want to change a component, you just type it, and it does it. The diff view stays hidden unless I want to dig deeper. It keeps me in the flow better than anything else I've tried. And yeah, the $15 per seat pricing feels pretty fair for the polish it offers. Then there's Cursor, which honestly feels like a dev tool made by devs who want control. It defaults to manual context mode, meaning you need to manually select what files it should look at for changes. This is great if you like precision, but it's also a bit of a mood killer when you just want to move fast. Cursor always shows diffs in line, makes you approve changes before anything is saved, and that can be frustrating. Sometimes I just want to see how the update looks in the app, but I can't without accepting the change. Reverting changes is clunky too. You need to dig through the chat history, find the point where you started that change, and manually backtrack. It's powerful for sure, and when you do learn the ins and outs, you'll find all kinds of tools baked in. For example, I like the multi-tabbing support when it catches a pattern and lets me continue applying smart changes deeper in the code. But the interface does start to feel cluttered. There are AI buttons everywhere. Fix with AI in the terminal, in the dropdowns, and the error messages. It's useful, sure, but sometimes those overlays get annoying and I just want them to chill. Cursor costs a bit more too, $20 per seat, and while it's loaded with features, you need to be okay with the added complexity. Now, Augment Code is kind of the underdog here, but it's got its own vibe. What I like about Augment is how it's very engineer-focused. It leans heavily into understanding large code bases, and it feels more like a partner than a helper. It integrates smoothly with VS Code and IntelliJ, and even Vim, which I really appreciated. It picks up on your coding patterns, suggests inline improvements that match your style, and even handles SDK migrations and complex refactors better than Cursor or Windsurf in my opinion. It's not as flashy UI-wise, but the focus here is on scaling your codebase with smart, context-aware logic. One thing I noticed is that Augment feels more tuned for mid to senior level engineers who know what they're doing and want code suggestions that respect their architecture instead of rewriting everything. If you're building fast and want smooth, uninterrupted progress, Windsurf is hard to beat. It's like having a friendly AI copilot that doesn't nag you or break your rhythm. Cursor is more of a power user tool, great if you like fine-tuned control and don't mind micromanaging context and revisions. And Augment Code is like bringing on a senior dev who learns your repo, gets your style, and helps you improve the overall structure of your codebase with deeper suggestions. In the end, they all use Claude 3.5 Sonnet under the hood for the heavy lifting. So the core model intelligence isn't drastically different. What really separates them is the experience, the UI, the flow, the way they integrate with your habits. And for me, that's what makes or breaks an AI IDE.